education the Taraba state government is trying to implement. Over the years and in many places in our campuses, one of the challenges has been the issue of sexual harassment. But Taraba State seems not to be relaxing and wants to take the bull by the horn. And the ministry, in our previous bulletin, you will see an engagement meeting in which it was done in particularly to be able to look at how to combat this menace, particularly in our campus. And that's why we have the Honorable Commissioner today in our studio to discuss detail about the implementation of these proactive measures, particularly to combat sexual harassment in the tertiary institution. So thank you so much for honoring our invitation. And we saw that this program is a laudable one. It's something that everybody has been kind on. And we see your ministry and the state government taking a bold step to address it. What really is the policy framework for this policy?
Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much, Chivolenka, for having me. As you said, the state convened a meeting recently with heads of tertiary institution and the Gender Mobile Initiative from Abuja in connection with ICPC. And Gender Mobile with ICPC have developed a framework, a policy. And this policy is called Mobile Anti-Sexual Harassment Policy. It is a policy that emphasizes a comprehensive and technology-driven reporting so as to enhance prevention and also address sexual harassment issues in tertiary institutions. So some of the main components of this policy include mobile reporting system for swift and anonymous reporting.
Okay.
Yes, of incidents of sexual harassment. That is an aspect of the policy. And another component of it is that it gives a clear definition of sexual harassment and then guidelines on handling reported cases. Another aspect of this component of this policy also is the provision of bystanders intervention training, empowering individuals to act against sexual harassment in our tertiary institutions. And then one last component of this policy is that there is this strict accountability measures and penalties for perpetrators, which align with existing laws.
Okay, thank you. What are the existing law? You just talked about the fact that the policy aligned with existing law. Can we know some of those existing law that talked about this sexual harassment and how it aligned with this existing law?
Yes, what I would say is that this new policy, it does align with existing laws. For example, alignment with state and national laws. For example, we have the policy of this anti-sexual harassment. It supports the violation against persons law, and then Nigeria's national gender policy. So both the Violence Against Persons Prohibition Act and the Nigerian National Gender Law, gender policy, both of them address gender-based violence, which includes sexual harassment.
Okay, thank you so much. Now, this policy, we saw that there are some organizations that are involved, some national organizations. Can you tell us some of the organizations that are supporting this initiative?
Okay, you know, like Gender Mobile Initiative is an NGO.
Okay.
And mostly a lot of their they are working in different states. They have gone far in some states. And this Gender Mobile Initiative synergizes with ICPC,
okay,
and even the Federal Ministry of Education. There was a national conference in July where commissioners of education, vice chancellors, gender activists, professors, emeritus, many stakeholders were there. And the aim was for us to see what Gender Mobile is doing. And that conference was supported by a foundation, Fourth Foundation, outside the country. So some of these international organizations, they work through Gender Mobile to support this kind of policy being adopted by institutions, tertiary institutions. They adopt it and they implement it there. So, also, as we said before, when we're talking of this thing, this policy of sexual harassment is also, it aligns with uh, state level legislation.
Okay.
Like also Taraba State Violence Against Persons law, ensuring that this complements national efforts in giving the student additional layer of safety and protection on campuses. So the thing is that there are national organizations, going back to your question, and for now, the mobile initiative is the mediator between states and international organizations that support such projects.
Okay, thank you so much. If you are just joining us, this is Taraba News Hour. We are together with the Honorable Commissioner for Education in Taraba State, Dr. Godwin Augustina. Now, let me ask, how are you going to ensure that tertiary institutions in the state embrace this policy?
For the first step, we have started in the ministry to ensure that this policy is adopted in the state was after our national conference to continue to, I got in touch with the person in charge of Gender Mobile Initiative because I saw that on that day was so powerful, so rich, so motivating. We had past vice chancellors, professors telling us their experiences of sexual harassment in tertiary institutions. In fact, one of the very moving experience there was that recently in one of Nigerian universities, a young girl went out to study during examination. She was raped and strangled to death and buried in a shallow grave. That was one of the stories that was there, and we had representatives of student union government in different universities in attendance. Now, seeing the importance of that, when immediately after the conference, I called the person in charge. I've been talking with them. What do we do next from the conference? And it's this continuous discussion that has led to where we came up to a state where they said now they have to come to the state. I will convene a meeting of heads of tertiary institutions in the state. So which I did. We didn't only invite tertiary institutions under Ministry of Education. We have only 3. We went on to health. Even Federal Polytechnic movie was represented at the meeting. So this was like the first step of ensuring that this good policy comes to Taraba and individual institutions adopt this policy. They came and they had the heads of tertiary institution with their student representatives. They heard from the horse's mouth. Gender Mobile staff was there. In fact, she's a lawyer and a Taraban because she knows how good this program is. Before the national conference, she made sure she got in touch with me and she made sure that she encouraged me to attend. And I attended and it was wonderful. So they came down, spoke to those that attended the conference, and there was a communique at the end, and we signed the communique. Now, there is a platform that has been created for all the participants, including those of us key staff from the Ministry of Education. So now we are going to watch. Each institution has to key into this. Every institution will now look at this policy and adopt it in the institution and begin to follow the various strategies that are put in place to kickstart such policy, to adopt such a policy in the institution and all other formation of different groups, technical committee. They have foot soldiers. Foot soldiers are volunteers among the students. There'll be like 70 or more in an institution who will be trained to also do that work. So having convened this meeting is one level, a big step forward. And the next step forward now is for me, even on the platform, to begin to check which institution is beginning to make move on this issue, and to personally reach out to them, the heads of tertiary institution, and encourage them to key into it with Gender Mobile.
Okay, thank you so much. Another issue we want to know is this sexual violence and harassment is not only in tertiary institutions. We have cases of it even in our secondary school. In fact, one of the most disheartening part is sometimes even in our primary school. Are there any plans the ministry is making to see that this policy go down? That is apart from our tertiary institutions. I'm talking about particularly our secondary schools and our primary school.
In fact, it might interest you that day during the meeting with Gender Mobile, one of the lecturers got up and he's concerned. He said, I have a daughter. How can we, he asked question on how to fast track this process. And he said, please, even in secondary school, these issues are there. Can we go to secondary schools? Definitely, we have that in mind. We have just started. We are starting with tertiary institutions. Now, not all tertiary institutions in the states attended. So what I want is that, like the 4, 5, 6, so 2 private institutions or 3 attended, then we have like 4 or 5 government-owned tertiary institutions. What we want to do now is one step at a time. Those that attended, let's start with them. When they start and they are going well, we will extend it to other tertiary institutions and subsequently consider introducing it in secondary schools, because we have had issues of real sexual assault on young girls in senior secondary schools, even junior secondary schools nowadays. Yes, so we have that in mind. We know that it's a necessity. It's a necessity, and it's just telling us in the ministry that this has come and no time to waste. It has to keep moving in the institutions, and Gender Mobile is the mediator. Everything we are going to do on this project, we don't need to pay a dime. Gender Mobile is ready to sponsor everything in every institution. In fact, there is going to be grants given to any school that adopts this policy immediately, a mini grant for them to kickstart the process. So it's not only tertiary institutions. When we are well established in the tertiary institutions, we will consider bringing it down to the secondary school. Even as the one in tertiary institution is going on, we talk with Gender Mobile. You just need to invite them. They will, every logistics, they take care of it. They will come down. So maybe next time again, it may be like His Excellency is going to meet with principals. This will be like a forum where we can talk to principals about this. Or we go to different zones in the state, get the principals together, get Gender Mobile to talk to them so that we can establish it in the secondary schools.
Okay, we're going to take a commercial break now. When we come back, the Honorable Commissioner is still in the studio. Please don't go away.
Are you a businessman or woman? Do you need loan to grow your business? At Taraba Business Development Center, we offer both business and personal loan with flexible repayment plan. We are located in different parts of Taraba State. Jalingo branch, opposite Civil Service Commission, 183 Amarua Way, 090-3134-4333. Zing branch, Zenith Bank agent beside College of Education, Zing, 070-3125-2559. Yembu branch, Usi Plaza, Yembu Sardauna State, 080-8978-2725. ATC branch, Zenith Bank agents, Taraba State University shops, ATC Audokola Local Government, 090-7850-2712. Other centers to take up soon. This initiative is supported by Zenith Bank, Globus Bank, Wema Bank, and Guarantee Trust Bank. Super Cash.
Okay, thank you so much. If you are just joining us, this is Taraba News Half Hour. I have in the studio the Honorable Commissioner for Education in Taraba State, Dr. Augustina Godwin. She has been talking to us on the initiative being implemented by Taraba State government in collaboration with Gender Mobile to combat sexual harassment, particularly in our tertiary institution. Thank you, Ma, for this time and for being with us. We want you to throw more light about the bystander intervention.
Okay. the bystander intervention is a component of this mobile anti-sexual harassment policy, and it simply means training people, training students on campus, giving them training, giving them capacity building to create awareness about sexual harassment, so that if I'm sitting with you here and there is somebody facing, you can see sign that a young boy is harassing a girl nearby, the bystanders have a role to play. So this is one of the components of the policy, because it's very, very important. It's a key aspect of it, where gender mobile gives training. It promotes proactive bystander intervention through training, through giving workshops, creating awareness campaigns, where all these the students on campus will be empowered to intervene whenever they notice any sexual harassment going on around where they are, and is emphasizing moral and legal responsibility for bystanders when such experiences are going on. So this bystander intervention, apart from training the bystander, just giving training on this bystander intervention, it also encourages peer group support.
Okay.
So if you and I are students, and I have such an experience, this kind of training helps me to talk with you, discuss with you, and encourage you to report in the necessary medium that has been provided in the university. So it includes creating this safe space for anonymous reporting. So this bystander is very important. The training, when it is given, it will give victims the safety to give this discreet reporting, anonymous reporting, through the mobile app that is provided for technological reporting, so that you remain anonymous, and at the same time as you report, you'll be able to watch through the app how the report on how your issues are being processed. Yes, for accountability and transparency.
Yes. Thank you so much. Now, I want you to talk about the aspect of reporting. How is technology going to play in this reporting system?
Okay. You know, in fact, one strong aspect of this policy is this technology-driven reporting. It's an app. There is there is Gender Mobile Anti-Harassment app.
Wow.
It provides a medium for easy and discreet way for students to report incidents. You know, definitely with the issue of sexual harassment, when we had the meeting, at least one thing I told the tertiary institution people and the students to go back with is that we have to break this culture of silence around sexual harassment and then victim blame. Because always, you know, people are shy to come out and say, this has happened to me.
Yeah.
So many people in the tertiary institutions are suffering in silence. We're not talking only of lecturers and students. There is lecturer, we have issues of staff and staff. You have maybe junior cadre staff working in the office of a senior cadre staff, who you hear rumors has slept with all the females in his office, whether they are married or not. So we have issues of student and student. A boyfriend can rape his girlfriend and even strangle her. Today we have had issues like that. You have issues of maybe even student harassing a lecturer.
Yeah.
So all this, the whole policy is meant to create a safer working environment for both staff and students. And so there is this mobile app. It's technology. Any institution that has adopts this policy, Gender Mobile will come in. They will give them training. We will form. There will be almost like 3 different committees, and then these members of committees, they have to be specially chosen, because you have to put people of high moral standard, people of integrity. You put them there. Then they have this mobile app, so that students don't feel they will get stigmatized. They will report through this app, and nobody will know it's you. Yeah, and then, but still, all the necessary information is there for them to carry their own investigation. And also, to break this issue of victim blame, The minute they say a girl was sexually harassed, they say, how was she dressed? We encourage decent dressing. Our ladies have to dress decently. But at the same time, it's not the reason for them to be sexually harassed, because a rapist is a rapist. If you say dressing, what of the girl that is always in hijab and was sexually harassed? So this issue of this mobile app is very, very important. As I'm talking to you, some states in their tertiary institution have adopted it and it's working. Those that are serious. So if our by the time our own tertiary institution adopt it, Gender Mobile will come in with different aspects of training and support, and this app is there. So in fact, all we will need to begin to do is do campaigns, awareness campaigns, for especially making them understand what is meant by sexual harassment, and then encourage them not to die in silence. Nobody needs to know if you, this is how you will do it. And then, like Gender Mobile, in every institution, they will have their foot soldiers, who are normally many, spread all over the campus. And it's a voluntary work. By the time they educate the students with this awareness campaign, when people understand, you see young people passionately coming out to give themselves freely for this service. When we did the national conference in Abuja in July, some of their foot soldiers from some of the tertiary institutions around Abuja attended. They brought them for the meeting. So these kind of people in the hostel, in the library, in the classes, they begin to, yes, they are there. They are listening to their friends, to other people, any little rumor going on. So this is going to be very helpful because of this technology that is involved. So it is already an app, and if we adopt it, even states that have started using this app, we will look from them, get these things from them, because it is good. Collaboration and partnership is very important in this. Gender Mobile is there to lead us to all the necessary stakeholders that will help us to adopt and make it useful.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
We're still with the Honorable Commissioner of Education of Taraba State, Dr. Godwin Augustina, and she's enlightening us on the new policy that her ministry, the state government through her ministry, is adopting to solve one of the major challenges that we have, particularly in our high institutions. Now, let's look at the aspect of partnership and collaboration. What is the role of your ministry, in extension, Taraba State Government, and the role of the Gender Mobile in the implementation of this policy?
The ministry and Gender Mobile have great roles to play in the implementation of this, because number one, the institutions will ensure, number one, that each institution adopts this policy. Number two, to ensure that members of the committee that are there on these different committees are people of high integrity, high moral standard, who will support such a policy. Because even those who came to talk to us last week from Gender Mobile, they told us that normally there will be people that will be against such a project. So we don't foresee a smooth taking off and smooth running. There will be a lot of antagonism coming from different people who do not see this as anything serious. If somebody is into sexual harassment, is taking advantage of his students, you put him on this team, you're only wasting your time. So number one, we will ensure that that is done. But then we always have the Gender Mobile there. In fact, when we start, I have to bring them to your studio for you to hear from the horse's mouth. Because they have been working in different parts of this country. They will give you a lot of details, a lot of information about what is going on. So Gender Mobile will provide us with training, capacity building, awareness campaigns, even provision of this mobile app and how to use it. Gender Mobile initiative will be there, because this work at some stage with this app, we have to also synergize with local security, like the police and the security groups
At the
in the
universities.
tertiary very good.
And
They all,
other tertiary institutions.
yes, all of them will be trained. They will key into this policy and all the different roles in which they can participate. Gender Mobile will take them through everything and train them, give them all the necessary support. The collaboration will help us because, one, nationally, internationally, if our states adopt it and start, they can get grants from international donors who support this kind of projects. That is one benefit in the area of collaboration. Another one is that we will partner with states that have started. We see how they have gone. Yes, there are mobile apps that they are using. We can get it. Whatever progress and hitches they have, it will be a good source of information for us in the ministry, so that we give all the institutions the necessary support they need to mount and adopt this policy and implement it and sustain it.
Okay. In fact, you just hit the issue of sustainability. One of the problems we used to have with things like this is that most of the times it starts and sustaining it. Particularly, I know you are passionate about somebody can come whose attention may be something else. Are there plans to develop maybe a policy framework or a legislation so that this kind of laudable initiative can be sustained? What is really the ministry going to do to ensure that this particular policy even outlives your tenure? God willing, after 4 years, we still pray that God brings you back to education. But no matter what we said, you will one day leave the office. Sustainability is very important. What is your ministry going to do to ensure that when this policy is adopted, the policy is sustained?
Yes, it will just mean more work. One good news is that at the national level, this policy you have seen is going to the National Assembly to go through the process and get approved and get passed into law in 2024-2025. Gender Mobile said that they are already working on that. They are ICPC. That is already going there. If at that level it becomes a law, that is a great support and great empowerment for us in the states. So now what we do is, as you said, is sustainability. When it is adopted, we have to do constant review, constant survey, constant feedback, working with the committees to see what is happening. Where are we making progress? Where do we need to improve? When you talk of sustainability, also some of these students, the food soldiers, they keep graduating.
Yeah.
So we have to see, even if it is in the secondary school or in the tertiary institutions, that as students come, maybe if you are going to start, we start with 200 level.
Okay.
So that by the time they reach 300 level, they themselves will now be getting in new other students in. As one group is going out, another group is coming. And I tell you that these students who volunteer to do this, even some of them that have graduated in some universities in this country that did it, they are still part of it. Anytime they are going for meeting, if they are available, they go. They just have that passion. Especially as students. I was a student. When you have had friends who have passed through these things, I tell you, when you hear it, you like to give all your best to it so that it works. Because the truth is that whether we have heard it about it in Taraba or not, this thing is happening. You hear rumors. It's rumors, but Hausa people say there is no smoke without fire.
Definitely.
Yes. So what we constantly do is to take this seriously, to always encourage tertiary institutions, heads of tertiary institutions, and this committee, particularly when they are adopted and formed. Gender Mobile will be in constant touch with them, constant upgrading of training, awareness campaign, constantly. And then we in the ministry also, like now, if I finish as a commissioner, I am a lecturer, I go back to the university. If I will be even more useful in the university, I will join that committee. I will continue to do, and even from the university, we can move out to other tertiary institutions. I am a lecturer. I do community service. For my community service, I can go to secondary schools, meet principals, and tell them about sexual harassment. So this for me has come to stay, and we do our best. I know that there are many good, passionate, God-fearing Tarabans in our tertiary institutions who are parents and who will leave no stone unturned to support this project, because if you have your precious daughter that you have been raising for the past 20 years and now she is in 400 level, and they will just call you now and say, last night she went to read and we have not seen her, and the next minute they tell you they saw her book scattered, and they will tell you that she's dead, she was raped. You imagine a parent.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you are a brother to such a sister in a tertiary institution, you know, this thing, any normal human being, his heart will fall for this.
Definitely.
If you are a parent, you have a child. If you are not a parent, you have a brother, you have a sister. So all this is very important, because both students and staff, this is meant to make life better, working environment better. We talk about girls because they are the most vulnerable in the tertiary institutions, but boys also suffer.
Yeah.
We have had situation where a lecturer asks a girl to go out with him. She refuses because he knows she's a girlfriend to this student. He will fail his course. He will frustrate him, make life very difficult for him. So this thing is not for just staff, both staff, academic and non-academic, and students, both male and female. This policy is meant to improve their safety on campus, to enable the students to be free to pursue their dreams, not their precious dreams to be truncated by some other person in the university, and they remain at the mercy of such a person. So we are here in the ministry, work with charity institutions to tell our students that don't die in silence. We are here for you. Very soon, by God's grace, when this mobile app is in the universities and in our tertiary institutions, you will be able to report your incidents freely, anonymously, without fear of any retaliation.
Thank you so much. The time is already not on our side. I want to most sincerely appreciate the Honorable Commissioner for taking out time despite her busy schedule to be here with us. We want to thank you so much, and we want to really commend you for all the good work you are doing for Taraba and for the ministry. We rest assured that we are there to support you and give you all the necessary publicity for people to know all the things that you are doing. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you, viewers. We have come to the end of this special half-hour program. You can join us on our different platform on Facebook at Taraba News. You can also join us on YouTube, Taraba News Television. Don't forget that every 10 o'clock and every 1 p.m. and 4 p.m. we bring you the Taraba News Hour. It's bye for now. I remain your regular host on the Taraba News Half Hour, Olayinka Gabriel. See you the next time, and God bless you.
Are you a businessman or woman?
Thank you
Do
for
you need
having me.
loans to grow your business?
Thank you so
At
much.
Taraba Business
Thank you.
Development Center, we offer both business and personal loan with flexible repayment plan. We are located in different parts of Taraba State. Jalingo branch, opposite Civil Service Commission, 183 Amarua Way, 090-3134-4333. Zing branch, Zenith Bank agent beside College of Education, Zing, 070-3125-2559. Yembu branch, Usi Plaza, Yembu Sardauna State, 080-8978-2725. ATC branch, Zenith Bank agents, Taraba State University shops, ATC Outer Kola Local Government, 090-7850-2712. Other centers to take up soon. This initiative is supported by Zenith Bank, Globus Bank, Wema Bank, and Guarantee Trust Bank. Super